up into high gear. Oh, this is Dragon Ball Super. We've got the skills to blow Zeno away.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's me, the Ninja Guru here. My bad for all my brony fans out there. I'm finally back once again due to basically just been busy on my trip. Yeah, just been busy, just been pretty much on my trip, pretty much. Just, in Florida, Orlando, going to Universal Studios and Adventures Island. So I've been just pretty much busy all around, just doing my thing, you guys. And I've already caught up to finally, well, I've already been watching this anyway, since it was already leaked. But, well, not leaked, but just aired earlier in Italy. So, we have episodes 11 and 12 of My Little Pony Season 9, aka the final season, episodes 11 and episodes 12, actually. So, let's get on with episode 11. Now, my bad, there really isn't going to be any kind of special editing for these kinds of episodes because, obviously I'm just a bit tired, and catching up and doing all these episodes combined and just rewatching them, I guess I would have to do more rewatching of these episodes because, again, catching up to these in one sitting, a little bit too much regardless. So anyways, when it comes to this, when it comes to episode 11 in general, basically, Starlight has been spending way too much time just pretty much helping out all her students whenever time there's appointments going around and whatnot. And because of that, Trixie wasn't able to basically have any sort of time with Starlight at all because, she's always been so busy with her schedule. And because of that, she gets a little annoyed. And especially since she finally made a promise to actually do that, she unfortunately goes a little bit overboard while making a little bit of a small problem into a more bigger problem, because apparently Silver String pretty much went missing because of some kind of project that they were supposed to do and whatnot, or at least she was trying to research. So what happens is that there were times, well, here's the thing though, when it comes to the episode in general, it actually does relate to me on a level due to the fact that, well, I'm pretty much like that when it comes to my friends as well. I'm pretty much, similar to that in ways. Okay, so when it comes to this episode in general, also then we have the fact too that Silverstream was doing her little research project, or basically studying upon cockatrices, even though she was kind of afraid. Her brother was the one that pretty much signaled the alarm that pretty much she was missing after, she attended, Maud's big, pretty much a party that was going on. I forget. I think it was a surprise party or birthday party. I kind of forget. But anyways, so the main focus here is that, they all had to band together as one. And it was actually kind of funny, even though I'm not really a big fan of this pony, but yes, Montbriar does make a return. And technically, I am not a big fan of this character. I absolutely was not a big fan of Von Briar from the beginning of Season 8. But I will say, though, it was pretty funny that something that he said on a line in context actually did make Starlight and Trixie pretty much gain eyes more on him, which was pretty funny, though, which I'm not going to lie. Also, the fact that he got turned to stone was a nice touch. For a bit, until he actually turned back. But whatever, though, still. Regardless, though, I did like Maud's expressions, though, during the moments where he was turned to stone. And Maud was just, panicking, though, even though technically you can't really tell if she was or not. But, yeah, it was actually pretty funny, though, I'm not gonna lie. And once again, the episode does relate to me on that level, knowing that I have to not overstress too many problems and try not to always ignore everything. Because while there's some little small things you can ignore, maybe you never know, there could be something big involved that, all of a sudden it could become much more of a problem that you should not avoid in the first place. It kind of reminds me of myself in many ways possible, because again, I've dealt with situations like that multiple times in the past where, especially nowadays, where I have to make time for my job and make time for my friends pretty much and balance out this schedule, or trying to make a perfect balance like some Deno shit. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of pretty much the same thing with me. I've done these situations multiple times before in my life, so can't really say we're wrong there. But anyways, yeah, so when it comes to the episode, when it comes to the humor, it was pretty good. It was a lot of funny moments. I say it balanced everything out quite well. I wouldn't say it's one of the really, really, really great episodes, but I guess it's another solid episode in my book that I actually, did enjoy though, but it also does relate to me on a level, so maybe a 4.5 for this one. It was pretty much a great episode, and I enjoyed it, despite being certain things that were hit or miss pretty much, so 4.5 I guess. But next we go to episode 12, which, oh my freaking lord, I absolutely loved this episode. This episode, episode 12, The Last Crusade, loved it so much. Oh my god. First of all, we had the reveal of SCOOTLAOO's so-called lesbian aunts, because, lesbian aunts. We have two of them that are the same, that are actually married to each other, because technically they do live together in the same house. And they also did confirm from the writers that, yes, they are actually lesbians. And I'm like, wow, holy shit. So we actually do have an actual lesbian couple in MLP for the first time. So that's actually really cool. And I am very, very happy that we did finally, after like the final season right now, that we are getting a same-sex couple, which I'm actually very, very happy for. That's actually pretty awesome. That was mind-blowing to actually know that she actually had two lesbian parents. Like, I did not expect that at all. Like, I really didn't at all. So yeah, that right there shocked me the most. The second thing that made this episode so awesome was the fact that we actually get to see SCOOTLAOO's mom and dad for the first time. Yo, the first time we see SCOOTLAOO's mom and dad, we actually get to see them on some, they're like, pretty much, I swear to god, like, it feels like they base this episode on the Crocodile Hunter, which I don't know why, but it actually feels like they base this off Steve Irwin, because, they both pretty much act like, like the husband and wife, pretty much. Like, they pretty much act like one another. I'm like, wow, holy shit, this is very accurate. Or maybe you could think of him as like Crocodile Hunter or fucking like Indiana Jones, whatever you want to take your pick on that one. But yeah, like, they pretty much go all around the world traveling and basically exploring, going on adventures, basically discovering hidden creatures and stuff like that. And yes, it is part of their job. They're pretty much also like archaeologists in a way, so that's pretty neat. So yeah, getting to see like her parents too was an absolute treat. And also, this is very important because, well, the parents want SCOOTLAOO to move back into, they're actually taking her to move to somewhere else, so that way they can be together, pretty much for good. But unfortunately, SCOOTLAOO doesn't want to leave, obviously, because, she has her friends here, from all they've been through, from, if it wasn't for them, she wouldn't have gotten her cutie mark. So it makes sense for her not to technically leave, because, she's still young. Like, she's not like, an older, like, if she was an adult, that'd be a different story, and so with the girls. But however, though, they're still young, and they still want to make their lives, like, they want to keep continuing to live their lives, and continuing to grow up. They want to continue doing this while they're still together as friends, and they don't want to lose the Crusader, break up the Crusaders for good. So they try everything in their power to actually find like all these ways to actually bring forward the parents, to pretty much make them change their mind in order to convince them to actually, make them pretty much stay there. But unfortunately, no matter what they do, no matter what they try, it just seems like it doesn't really work. So what happens is that, well, sadly though, apparently they tried everything in the book, and instead of them giving up, SCOOTLAOO's like, look, you guys are always the one that decides everything for me. What about how I feel? You can't always just go by how you guys are. Like, remember, you gotta think of me as well. Like, I'm also the one that has to make the decisions here. Like, I'm not gonna go with you guys, and that's final. But they said, well, they already sold most of everything, and then blah blah blah. So instead of SCOOTLAOO going with the parents, she decided to, well, I'm gonna run away and actually move to where my aunts are instead, and just live with them. Then when SCOOTLAOO told them the news, like, look, all you have to do is just simply find like a convincing way that's not, basically, that means something for your friendship, that means something that you guys been so well through together, that I think that you should basically, teach them that, show them exactly what it's meant to be. So what they did was they actually threw this like big Crusader celebration thing, knowing that from all the accomplishments they did by helping ponies everywhere that were struggling with a cutie mark, you know, pretty much, you know, for all the struggles they, you know, that they need to get their cutie marks. Yeah, for all the accomplishments they've done, they got, like, you know, a little party from the mayor and stuff like that. And then, like, now they realize, like, oh shit, like, they actually do mean something together as a team, as friends, to grow up and help not just themselves but others as well. So that right there was actually really, really good, and I am glad that they actually, well, I pretty much figured that was going to happen anyway, to change their actual minds. And the way they set up everything, all the emotions aside, and like all the emotions aside and everything, and like the way, like, you know, they were just doing everything in their power to, was pretty emotional, I will admit. And not only that though, there were some actual funny moments as well, so, you know, always with the comedy as well. But yeah, the message just, again, I can relate to something like this because me growing up, when I had friends growing up pretty much, and I was still like a kid, people always made those decisions for me, saying like, oh, like, why, I shouldn't move and stuff like that. And I didn't, like, I would always stay where I am. But somehow it didn't really work with me, because then all of a sudden they started to move and you know, whatnot. And I just, you know, became more lonely, so. Sad childhood of mine. But anyways, yeah, so, well, it doesn't really matter though, but don't worry though, you know, it wasn't always like that. But I pretty much had the same similar thing where my parents wanted to actually do that, and they wanted to move from the neighborhood, but I told them, look, I'm still young, I still have all these friends, I want to grow up with them, at least do some fun times with them. And once that day comes and we're older and we're on our own and we don't really see each other too often, then yeah, then I can make that decision of whether or not I would still stay in the actual area or actually just move for good. And yeah, you know, so, and most of them made that decision right before I did anyway, so yeah, and I figure most of the times it was for the best. So yeah, growing up was difficult times, I'm not gonna lie though. But yeah, I could definitely relate to that. But overall, it was just amazing overall, just seeing them develop them so much, and why it meant for them to actually keep staying together without them being separate. Also, the lesbians, man, I'm so proud of the MLP staff for doing that, man. Props to them for that. Also, it does kind of fit because it's Pride Month anyway. And then finally, you know, the parents, just seeing them, mysteries revealed. Finally, it's been confirmed. Don't worry, she's not no orphan or anything like that. She really does have parents now. So yeah, you can rest easy now. That theory of her being an orphan can now be put to rest because now we know. So it looks like we are getting some really cool connections for this before this whole series actually wraps up. So I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 5. This was definitely a very deep, meaningful episode, especially for me as someone who was a kid growing up with friends myself. So that's basically it though. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below of these two episodes of MLP, episodes 11 and episodes 12. With only episode 13 out of the way, it should be a lot easier, and oh boy, is it an episode, alright. Oh my god. Whoo! It is one way, and I think it was one of the best ways to wrap up the first half in my opinion. But you'll see for yourself when it comes to this week's episode coming up this Saturday. So I'll see you guys for that, and then we go to mid-season break pretty much, so then no more MLP reviews at least for a while. Hopefully things could be balanced out this time without no airing or airing early in other countries and whatnot. So we'll see how that goes. We'll keep each other up to date. Until then, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, click that bell, join the squad, boys. Follow my social media plugins and gamer tags as well. So yeah, so peace. Oh, sorry. Peace, soul, love, chicken. Soul, love, chicken grease, and the sky is the limit. MM manga fans, keep supporting what you read and what you watch. And bro hoof to all you bronies out there, brony on. And I'll see you guys next time for episode 13, which is gonna be quite, it's something, I will say that. But anyways.